Do you ever find that getting up from a chair is more difficult than it used to be? That feeling where you have to brace yourself or push off with your hands just to stand up? Maybe you've noticed yourself reaching for the wall or a piece of furniture when you walk down the hallway. Not because you're dizzy, but just to make sure. You feel a little less steady on your feet. That feeling is not just getting old. That feeling is a quiet, urgent warning sign. It's a warning that you are in the early stages of losing your muscle strength, and by extension, you are at risk of losing your independence. For those of us over 60, independence is everything. It's the ability to live in our own home, to take care of ourselves, to not be a burden. The single greatest threat to that independence is not a heart attack, and it's not cancer. It's a fall. According to the CDC, 1 in 3 adults aged 65 and older falls each year. A simple fall can be a life-changing event. It can lead to a broken hip, a loss of mobility, and a sudden, devastating loss of that independence we value so much. For decades, we have all been told the same story. Protect your bones. We were told to drink milk, to think about calcium, to worry about osteoporosis. But what if I told you that focusing only on your bones is like worrying about the window, while ignoring the thief breaking down the door? What if the real culprit, the true villain behind these life-changing falls, isn't the fragility of your bones? What if it's the weakness of your muscles? Today, we are not talking about bones. We are talking about muscles. And we are going to expose the silent accelerant that is making your muscles weaker, faster, right now. It's a deficiency that is directly linked to staying indoors. We are talking about vitamin D deficiency and how it is secretly stealing your strength. Defining the real enemy, sarcopenia. The real enemy of your independence has a medical name. It's called sarcopenia. It's a word you need to know. Sarcopenia simply means the natural age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. As we get older, we all lose some muscle. But for many, this process happens far too fast, leaving them dangerously weak. This is where the great misunderstanding lies. We worry about osteoporosis, which is fragile bones. But osteoporosis doesn't make you fall down. Sarcopenia does. Muscle weakness is what causes the fall. The fall is what breaks the fragile bone. Think of your muscles as the living, dynamic armor that protects your entire skeleton. Your muscles control your balance, your stability, and your ability to move with confidence. A fragile bone doesn't just break on its own. It breaks when it hits the floor. Sarcopenia is the force that pulls you to the floor. How do you know if sarcopenia is affecting you? It's that feeling of weakness when climbing stairs. It's the difficulty opening a tight jar lid. It's the feeling of gait instability, that sense that you are not as sure-footed as you once were. You might find yourself walking slower than the people around you. You might find it harder to lift a bag of groceries out of the car. This process feels inevitable, like a one-way street. But what if it's not? What if the speed of this muscle loss could be controlled? What if there was a switch that could slow this process down? And what if that switch was being turned off by our modern indoor lifestyle? That switch exists. And new research has identified that this switch is directly controlled by vitamin D. The overlooked link. For decades, we were told vitamin D is the bone vitamin. Its only job, we thought, was to help our intestines absorb calcium to build strong bones. This is true, but it is only half the story. In fact, it's the less important half of the story when it comes to falls. Recent science has discovered something critical, something that changes everything we thought we knew about muscle weakness in seniors. Your muscles, your skeletal muscles, are loaded with receptors for vitamin D. Think of these receptors as tiny, specific keyholes that cover the surface of your muscle cells. Vitamin D, and only vitamin D, is the key that fits into that lock. When the key enters the lock, it sends a powerful signal directly to the muscle's DNA. This signal tells the muscle to grow, to contract harder, and to maintain its strength. But what happens when there is no key? What happens when you have a vitamin D deficiency? Those keyholes remain empty. The receptors are starved. When these muscle receptors are starved, the signal to grow and be strong is never sent. The muscle itself begins to weaken and atrophy. This isn't just a theory. Studies show a direct, powerful link between low vitamin D levels in the blood and poor performance on muscle strength tests, especially in adults over 60. But here is the most important part of this entire video. This is the plus under 30% value that most people, even many doctors, overlook. Vitamin D deficiency doesn't just cause a general vague weakness. It specifically attacks your most important muscles for stability, your type 2 muscle fibers. These are also known as your fast twitch muscles. Your type 1 fibers are for endurance, like walking slowly for a long time. But your type 2 fibers are for power and speed. They are your reflex muscles. When you trip on a rug or step off a curb you didn't see, it is your type 2 muscle fibers that fire instantly, in a fraction of a second, to catch you, to rebalance your body, and to prevent the fall. And what science has proven, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that vitamin D is essential for the health and function of these fast-twitch, type 2 reflex fibers. When you are deficient in vitamin D, these are the first fibers to atrophy and die off. So, let's connect the dots. Here is the dangerous cycle that leads to a broken hip. First, you spend more time indoors, leading to a vitamin D deficiency. Second, that deficiency starves the vitamin D receptors in your muscles. Third, because the receptors are starved, your type 2 fast-twitch muscle fibers begin to weaken and shrink. Fourth, your reflexes become slower. Finally, one day you stumble. But your reflex muscles are too weak and too slow to catch you. You cannot regain your balance, and you fall. This entire devastating chain of events did not start with your bones. It started with a simple, preventable nutritional deficiency that crippled your muscles' ability to protect you. Why are we deficient? But wait, you might be thinking, I go outside, I'm not avoiding sunlight, how can I be deficient? This is the crucial misunderstanding. The reasons for this widespread deficiency, especially in the 55+ community, are a perfect storm of modern life. Reason 1. Our indoor lifestyle. We are, by nature, an indoor society. We live in climate-controlled homes. We spend our evenings watching television. Even if you are active, you might be walking on a treadmill indoors or spending time in a community center. We simply do not get the casual, consistent sun exposure that our ancestors did. And this is especially true for those living in the northern half of the US and in Canada. For 6 months of the year, from roughly October to April, the angle of the sun is too low. The UVB rays required to make vitamin D literally cannot penetrate the atmosphere to reach your skin. This is known as the vitamin D winter. Reason 2. Your aging skin. This is an insight that is critically important for this audience. Here is a fact most people do not know. After the age of 60, your skin's ability to manufacture vitamin D from the sun decreases dramatically. Studies suggest your skin is 3 to 4 times less efficient at producing vitamin D than it was when you were 20. This means the same 20 minutes in the sun that gave you a full dose of vitamin D at age 20 might give you only a tiny, insufficient fraction of that at age 70. Your body is simply not as good at making it anymore. Reason 3. The sunscreen paradox. We are rightly, and very importantly, told to wear sunscreen to protect ourselves from skin cancer. This is a vital health message, but it creates an unavoidable nutritional catch-22, a sunscreen with an SPF of just 15, which is a standard daily moisturizer, blocks up to 99% of your skin's vitamin D production. So, the very thing we do to protect ourselves from one danger unintentionally exposes us to this hidden danger of muscle weakness and fall risk. Reason 4. Melanin and skin tone. This is a matter of simple biology. Melanin, which is the pigment that gives skin its color, acts as a natural sunblock. This means that individuals with darker skin tones require significantly more sun exposure to produce the same amount of vitamin D as someone with fair skin. The CDC has confirmed this, showing that vitamin D deficiency is significantly higher in non-Hispanic Black and Hispanic populations. So you see, when you combine our indoor lives with the vitamin D winter in the US and Canada, and add in our aging skin's inefficiency and top it off with the necessary use of sunscreen, it becomes clear that just going outside is no longer enough. Even if you think you are getting sun, you are almost certainly operating with a significant vitamin D deficiency. Your muscles are being starved, and you are being left vulnerable. The solution: the practical action plan. So, what is the answer? Do we just bake in the sun all day and risk skin cancer? Absolutely not. This is not about being irresponsible. This is about being strategic. We must find the balance between protecting our skin from damage and fueling our muscles for strength. This is a two-part action plan. Solution 1. The 10-minute rule: safe sun exposure. First, we must change our relationship with the sun. This is not about tanning. Tanning is damage. This is about strategic exposure. Here is the 10-minute rule for seniors, based on recommendations from multiple health organizations. The goal is to get just enough sun on just enough skin at the safest time of day. When to do it: you must avoid the peak sun hours. Go outside before 10 a.m. or after 2 p.m. This is when the UVB light is still present, but the burning risk is lower. How long? Just 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. We are not sunbathing. Set a timer on your phone if you have to. How to do it. This is key. You must expose the machinery of your body. Expose your arms and your legs. You should continue to wear a hat and protect your face, which is more sensitive. But let your arms and lower legs see the sun without sunscreen for just those 10 minutes. How often? Try to do this 3 to 4 times per week if possible. This small, strategic dose of sunlight is often enough to dramatically wake up those starved vitamin D receptors in your muscles. It's not about burning, it's about fueling. The food-first strategy. But what about the winter? What if you live in Canada or New York or Michigan, where there is no effective sun for 6 months? What if you are on a medication that makes you highly sensitive to the sun? This is where our food-first strategy becomes essential. As this channel teaches, we always look to food before pills. We must get our vitamin D from our diet. But there is a problem. Vitamin D is very, very rare in natural foods. There are only a few sources. Source 1. Fatty fish, the obvious choice. This is the gold standard of vitamin D in food. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, herring, and sardines are packed with it. A single serving of wild-caught salmon can provide a large portion of your daily needs. Source 2. The realistic choice for people who don't like fish. Let's be honest. Many people do not like fish or cannot afford to eat salmon every single day. This is where you must become a smart shopper. Your new hidden weapon is fortified foods. This is where manufacturers have added vitamin D into the food. You must read the labels. Look for fortified with vitamin D. The best sources are fortified milk. Most milk in the US and Canada is fortified, providing about 115 to 120 international units, IU, per cup. Fortified orange juice. This is an excellent option for those who don't drink dairy. Many brands provide 100 IU per cup. Fortified cereals. Many common breakfast cereals are fortified with vitamin D. Check the nutrition panel on the side of the box. These foods are a practical, affordable, and reliable way to get vitamin D, especially during the long winter months. Source 3. The forgotten sources. Finally, don't overlook these other humble but powerful sources. Egg yolks. The D is in the yolk, so don't just eat the whites. One yolk has about 40 IU. UV-treated mushrooms. This is a fascinating one. Mushrooms, like our skin, can create vitamin D when exposed to ultraviolet light. Some brands are now sold as UV-treated or high in vitamin D. Check the label. And finally, cod liver oil. This is a very traditional source, and it is incredibly potent. Just 1 teaspoon can often provide your full daily requirement. The goal is to combine these strategies, a little bit of safe sun, plus a conscious effort to include these fortified foods in your daily routine. This is how you fight back. This is how you refuel your muscles. Conclusion and flywheel. Your independence is protected by your stability. Your stability is protected by your muscle strength. And your muscle strength is directly supported by vitamin D. Do not let a modern indoor lifestyle silently steal the power from your muscles. Do not become a statistic. Do not let a preventable deficiency rob you of the independence you have worked your whole life to maintain. We all know someone who has had a bad fall. After learning this, what is one small change you will make this week to protect your mobility? Will you try the 10-minute rule, or will you look for fortified orange juice? Please share your thoughts and your commitment below. And if you found this information helpful, I strongly urge you to watch our next video. The 5 healthy foods that are actually draining your energy after 60. It is the essential next step to reclaiming your strength. Click the link on the screen or in the description.